Hello students, in the last video we have discussed about B lymphocyte and T lymphocyte and also about humoral immunity and cell mediated immunity. In this class, let us discuss about the next concept, that is structure of an antibody. Structure of an antibody or immunoglobulin. Structure of an antibody or immunoglobulin. Immunoglobulin is represented as Ig. Structure of an antibody or immunoglobulin or Ig. Immunoglobulin is designated as Ig, capital I, small letter G, Ig. Structure of an antibody contains 4 polynucleotide chain. It contains 4 polynucleotide chain, means like this. And the structure of an antibody is Y-shaped. Structure of an antibody is Y-shaped. It is Y-shaped like this. It is Y-shaped and contains 4 polypeptide chains. These are 2 and here 2. 2 polypeptide chains are present. These polypeptide chains are held together by disulfide bridge or disulfide. Four polypeptide chains are held together by disulfide. And each polypeptide chain contains constant region and variable region. Each polypeptide chain contains constant and variable region. See, this is the variable region. I will represent the variable region using pink color chalk. This is variable region. V means variable region. C means constant region. Out of 4 polypeptide chain, 2 are small, identical small chains. They are called as light chains. And 2 are identical long chains. They are called as heavy chain. And this is the constant region of heavy chain. Constant region of heavy chain. This is the constant region of light chain. constant region of light chain. This is the variable region. And this variable region forms the antigen binding site. It forms an antigen binding site. Antigen binding site. This is the structure of an immunoglobulin or structure of an antibody, Ig. Structure of an antibody or structure of an immunoglobulin. Explain the structure of an immunoglobulin or structure of an antibody. For that, you have to draw this diagram. Then, antibody or immunoglobulin is a Y-shaped molecule. Antibody is a Y-shaped molecule, or the structure of immunoglobulin or antibody looks like Y-shape, and it contains 4 polypeptide chains. It contains 4 polypeptide chains. See, 4 polypeptide chains are present. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 polypeptide chains are present. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 polypeptide chains are present in the antibody structure like this. Out of 4 polypeptide chain, 2 are identical short chains. See, this one and this one. These 2 are identical. Identical means looks same. Identical short chains. And 2 identical short chains are called as light chains. 2 identical short strands or short chains present in the antibody is called as light chain. These are called as light chain. Whereas the 2 more polypeptide chains, the 2 polypeptide chains are identical long chain, long strand or long chain. Remaining 2 are identical long chains or long strands. They are called as heavy chains. The term light and heavy are used by seeing their molecular weight. Based on the molecular weight of the chains, molecular weight of these 4 chains, they are called as light chains and heavy chains. Heavy chains are having more molecular weight, light chains are having less molecular weight. So, we can represent the structure, represent an antibody molecule. Antibody can be represented as, H2N2. Antibody can be represented as H2N2, means 2 heavy chains and 2 identical light chains are present. Then each chain or each strand contains constant region and variable region. It contains constant region and variable region. See, there are 4 chains. In each chain we can see the presence of constant region. See, here in this chain this is the constant region. In this chain this is the constant region. In this is the constant. This is constant region. Each chain contains constant region and variable region. In this is the variable here, like this. V indicates variable region, C indicates constant region. Remember, variable regions are always present at the tip of each arm, or at the tip of each chain. Variable region is present. Only at the tip of each arm or each chain, variable region is present, whereas the remaining portion constitutes the constant region. In case of light chains as well as in case of heavy chains, variable regions are present at the tip, constant regions are present next to the variable region. See, this is the variable region of the light chain, and this is the variable region of the heavy chain. Here, this is the variable region of light chain, this is the variable region of heavy chain. This is the constant region of light chain, and this one is the constant region of heavy chain. And this variable regions of the antibody molecule forms an antigen binding site. It forms an antigen binding site. Antigen binding site means antigen is the pathogen or microorganism which can cause infection. That antigen binds to the antibody at this site. Disease-causing organism or antigen always binds to the antibody molecule, particularly at the variable region or at this site. Means it possesses receptors. And particular antigen binds to particular antibody. They are very specific. Particular antigen binds with the particular antibody. And always antigen binds to the variable region of the antibody molecule. That means variable region forms the antigen binding site. These different chains, polypeptide chains of an antibody molecule are held together by disulfide. See here, disulfide bridge or disulfide held the different chains of antibody molecule. 4 polypeptide chains. 4 polypeptide chains of an antibody are held together by disulfide. They are held together by disulfide. See here, disulfides are present. Then, in the variable region, amino acid sequences are present, and in the constant region also, amino acids are present. But the sequence of amino acids present in the variable region of different antibodies differs. The amino acid sequences in the variable region, of different antibodies differs. For example, suppose in this antibody the amino acid sequence are valine, phenylalanine, arginine, leucine, like this. Okay, amino acid sequence in the variable region of this antibody is valine, phenylalanine, arginine, leucine, like this. Whereas the amino acid sequence of the variable region of another antibody is different. That may be methionine, or lysine, histidine, valine, glutamic acid, etc. Means amino acid sequences present in the variable region of different antibodies differs. Different antibodies are different, but the amino acid sequences present in the constant region of different antibodies are same. Amino acid sequences in the constant region of different antibodies are same. That means in all the antibodies, the amino acid sequences in the constant region remains the same. Only the difference is in the variable region, in different amino acid, the amino acid sequences are different. This is about the structure of an antibody or structure of an immunoglobulin. This is very, very important. Usually this question will be asked for 3 marks. Draw a neat label diagram of structure of an antibody or immunoglobulin, or explain the structure of an antibody molecule or immunoglobulin. Next one is types of antibody. Types of antibody. Types of antibody. There are mainly 5 different types of antibody. Types of antibody. There are mainly 5 different types. One is IgA, immunoglobulin A. IgA, IgM, IgE, IgG and IgD are 5 types of immunoglobulins. First one is IgA, means immunoglobulin A. IgA constitutes about 10% of total serum immunoglobulin. It constitutes about 10% of total serum immunoglobulin. What is serum? Serum is an amber colored protein rich fluid. Amber colored protein rich fluid which gets separated after the clotting of blood. When blood undergoes clotting or coagulation, at that time we will get 2 parts. One is clots, and another one is fluid part. That fluid which is separated from the clots after blood clotting, that fluid is called as serum. Serum is an amber colored protein rich fluid. Amber colored protein rich fluid gets separated after clotting of blood. When a blood undergoes clotting or coagulation, at that time we will get 2 parts. One is clots and another one is fluid. That fluid is called as serum. IgA forms or constitutes 10% of the total serum immunoglobulin. And this IgA gives local immunity. Particularly, it protects the cell membranes from the bacterial and viral infection. It provides local immunity, means it is restricted to particular site. Only in that particular site, it protects the cell membrane from bacterial and viral infections. Then another type is IgM. IgM means immunoglobulin M. IgM or immunoglobulin M. It also constitutes around 5 to 10% of total serum immunoglobulin. Immunoglobulin M constitutes about 5 to 10% of serum immunoglobulin. And because of its large size, it is called as macroglobulin. Macro means large. Because of its large size, it is also called as macroglobulin. Then one more type of immunoglobulin is IgE or immunoglobulin E. IgE or immunoglobulin E. Immunoglobulin E constitutes around 1% of total serum immunoglobulin. IgE constitutes around 1% of total serum immunoglobulin. During infection, IgE count increases, particularly during Helminth infection. Count of IgE increases, and immunoglobulin E is associated with allergies. Allergy, right? When there is an allergy in the body, at that time the count of IgE increases. Increase in the count of immunoglobulin E indicates the presence of a type of allergy in the body or infection. It indicates the presence of infection in the body. Next one is IgG. Immunoglobulin G or IgG. It constitutes about 70 to 75%. It constitutes around 70 to 75% of total serum immunoglobulin IgG. It constitutes major portion in the serum immunoglobulin, that is 70 to 75%. And it is the immunoglobulin which gets transmitted from mother's body to the fetus through placenta. IgG is the antibody. It passes from IgG is the antibody which passes from mother body to fetus. Fetus through placenta means during developmental stages itself or during pregnancy. During pregnancy, when baby is growing inside the womb of the mother, at that time only from the mother body IgG, immunoglobulin G, gets transmitted to the body of the fetus or body of growing baby through placenta. And that provides passive immunity. In the next class we are going to study about types of immunity, active and passive immunity. The transfer of IgG antibody from mother body to fetus body through placenta provides passive immunity. It provides passive immunity. What is passive immunity? About that we are going to discuss in next class. Then one more type is IgG, immunoglobulin D, IgD. It also constitutes less than 1% of total serum immunoglobulin. Means it constitutes very less portion. IgD constitutes less than 1% of total serum immunoglobulin. This is about the structure of an antibody molecule and about the types of antibody. In the next class, we will discuss about the types of immunity, active and passive immunity. Thank you.